All right. Snacks isn't here yet, but I do think he will be here a little later. Hey, Drop Top, how you doing? Okay. Um,
Ripping, this is.
No.
mm, mm.
How grand.
What now?
My great uncle once saw a rat.
All right then. All right then.
Let's go.
Are we departing?
Hmm.
Now then.
Here's where we are now. Well then.
I guess I should wait for the weather to be better.
All right. Hmm?
Hmm.
Hey, user.
Hey.
All right. Let me grab the guide for this interaction here.
Thanks. Hmm. Hmm. Worry not. I see. No.
It's
Yeah.
swampland. Yeah, see? It's like Springfield, Ohio. You can't import a bunch of immigrants into an area that's already populated.
Stroll. You. Apologies. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Huh. Right. Now then. No. Fine. Now then.
What the?
Hey, Big Country. Hey, Austin. So, Snacks is not here yet. I think he'll be here later, but he's not here right now.
Hmm.
But that's...
Sorry about that.
Wow. Thank you.
Oh, welcome. How you doing tonight?
All right.
Have a decent day?
Yeah, it was okay.
Mhm. Good to see you. So I sent you a couple things while you were at work.
So I've responded to the poll, but I haven't read the story yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the poll response, I could just say it again here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. But yeah, that implies there are people who didn't vote for him that are still happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like this. Former President Bill Clinton has suggested during a recent CBS interview that the United States might be more inclined to elect its first female president if she aligns with the Republican Party. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Because, every female prime minister that the UK had was with the Conservative Party.
Yeah.
What are people's common complaints in terms of having a woman leading the country? They're worried about weakness. So do you want to pick the limp dick fucking faggoty party, or do you want to pick the Warhawk, reputation of being a ball-busting bastard party?
I've got it, Father.
It doesn't seem like it's that complicated.
Right.
Well,
That's...
huh?
Well, what do you want to do?
Wonderful.
All right then. What now? All right then. Go.
What's this? Yeah? Thank you kindly.
There are people who believe that the Democrats have already basically decided they're going to never nominate like a white male again. And if that's the case, they're going to keep throwing women up. And eventually one of them will probably get in. I don't know when. But if they do that, if they just decide we're going to nominate a woman every time until one gets through, you know, that's still possible. But I think at a certain point you decide you actually want to win
Frankly,
reliably.
After losing over and over and over again, it'll be required that they reform the party. Because how long can you continue to get your ass kicked, especially down ballot, without having to reform? Otherwise, you just... Like, my God.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome. All right then.
Let's go. Yeah?
ripping this is. Right.
Two hilarious conversations with complete retards on Twitter. So, first is in a Why Women Get L's post.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a bunch of lefties come in and start talking incredibly inaccurate shit about Trump. This guy, he comes in, he says, knowing that both Trump and Musk have already been confirmed to be on the Epstein list, this post is ironic. So, that, of course, gets 2.6 thousand upvotes. Guy says, do you have any proof? No response. But then some dumbass comes in, he says, have you been living under a rock? I click on his profile, he's a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Literally a teenager.
Right.
So I call him a retard, and he goes, there's photo evidence that Trump and Epstein were friends, and I'm all like, you know, I hit him with my standard post. You know, of course, a billionaire that lives in New York knows another billionaire that lives in New York. You know, but here's proof that Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago for life, and Trump helped the FBI investigate Epstein in the 2000s, like a decade before he got arrested. Obviously, a teenager on Twitter's got this all figured out. Then he goes, he visited the island, you dunce. And I'm all like, don't you think if that was even remotely true, that'd be the biggest story of the last decade? You have proof of this, right?
Let's not.
I really don't understand how these people think. It's just the most brain dead shit. Then, speaking of brain dead, I had another guy He was talking about the world's most intelligent man. Because people have been talking about him. Guy's got an IQ of 210.
Mhm.
And in the thread, everyone's talking about how he's right wing. This guy goes, talking to him for 5 minutes will disabuse you of the notion that having a high IQ means anything. Trying to say the smartest man on earth is actually an idiot because I disagree with him politically. The guy goes, he believes the rapture's going to happen. I'm all like, oh no, the smartest man in the world is religious. That means he's retarded because I'm so smart and know that religion's fake, guys. By the way, my IQ's 100. Like,
Mhm.
I just really don't understand what's wrong with these people. Gonna keep losing because they can never sit there and reflect on the idea that people can disagree with them, and that doesn't mean that they're retarded. There are ways that people arrive at conclusions other than just they're not as smart as me.
All right then.
Ear Crowbar said, I was surprised Trump would make Linda McMahon the head of the Department of whatever.
Let's go.
Yeah, he did that last time in his last administration too as a favorite of Vince because Trump and Vince are longtime friends. Who cares about Vince shitting on some girl's head? It was consensual anyway. Who cares?
Really?
A village.
And here's where we are, and and right there's a labyrinth.
Oh, I can hear you on the stream, but I think on Discord
No, can you still hear me?
you. Oh yeah, I can.
Okay.
Well, that's the damnedest thing because I was able to hear you on the stream, but up until just now, I couldn't hear you on Discord at all. That is so weird.
Huh. I don't know what to say about that. Today is Biden's 82nd birthday.
Jesus.
California Prop 32 has failed 51 to 49. Wow.
I voted no on everything except for 36, so I'm happy about that. But I'm going to check which one Prop 32 is.
Minimum wage $18 an hour.
Based. I'm so glad.
It is the first time since 1996 that a minimum wage hike failed in any state when put to a vote.
Yeah, that makes sense. People are really starting to understand what the problem is here. No amount of increasing the minimum wage is actually helping people. It really is just hurting other businesses because now it's like, okay, my job, which was paying much better than minimum wage, and it was a good job, now it's not anymore because of this shit. So people get mad. What's crazy is that 15 million people voted in this proposition race, and no one by 244,000 votes. That is based 50.8 to 49.2. I am so fucking happy about that. Exactly, right, guy. Like, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that if you mandate that people have to get paid more, prices are also going to go up. Like, compare the cost of living of California to any state that has the federal minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. People sit there and say, well, the cost of living is not as high because no one wants to live in Alabama. It's like, if people were getting paid less, the cost of things would be less because people wouldn't be able to pay more for stuff. If California legitimately became a red state and we could fix everything, yeah, neither would I, right, guy? Like, that's the point. There's no state in the country that I would not want to live in by virtue of the state itself. I wouldn't want to live there because of laws. But, Illinois is a great state. I would never want to live in Chicago. Oregon's a great state. I'd never want to live in Portland. But yeah, if California became a red state, I wouldn't leave. I'd just be like, all right, fuck it. Because the only way it becomes a red state is if we deport millions upon millions upon millions of illegals, and then all of the leftists just die, or finally enough of them have left that there's more conservatives left here than left wingers.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty awesome at that point.
All right then. What now?
Ah, it's you. That's why.
All right then. Let's go.
God damn!
What now?
I'm moving to Appalachia. Holy fuck, bro.
Man, West Virginia used to be a really
That is
blue state. That's crazy.
yes, because back in the 90s, 1992, that's when labor unions were very strongly Democrat, and Democrats believe firmly in, working and shit like that. 'Cause this is before NAFTA, so it's before they fucked over, blue collar workers,
Hmm.
and it's coal country, so big, big, big fucking time Democrats there. That's the whole reason
Let's
that
head there.
Manchin had basically been a senator for life at that point in the first place. Is the Manchin family's a political dynasty in West Virginia, and they're Democrats.
Ripping, this is.
And that's exactly why he's moving on now, is because he's like, well,
Ripping, this is.
I can't really switch party and have people take me seriously because they'd see me as just being an opportunist.
Hmm.
But I think that kind of logic is flawed because there's a lot of that going around right now, and it's legitimate, you know. Tulsi Gabbard's legitimate.
All right.
I figure it'll be inevitable that RFK identifies as a Republican in the future.
Hmm.
Already Elon, of course, most famously Trump. It's like they're banning the party in droves for a reason. Yeah, right, guy. And except for Michigan, which isn't part of Appalachia in this map, there's only one county in Ohio that still voted blue in Appalachia in this election. West Virginia was a clean sweep. There's only 3 counties in Pennsylvania in that section. Like in 1992, that is a very, very evenly split map. What's even crazier here? That's 1992. So that's George H.W. Bush versus Bill Clinton versus Ross Perot. So those votes are being split like that with Ross Perot on the ballot.
Right.
Which to me makes it even crazier.
Damn it all.
No!
Trump got 6 million votes in California. Let's
Is that a
fucking
record
go.
for a Republican? It almost certainly has to be, right?
Let me check here.
That's...
5.4.
This is what you and Mother wanted, right?
5.5. Yes. Donald Trump has the most votes of any Republican in the history of California presidential elections. Next closest is George W. Bush in 2004.
Hmm.
Very narrowly beating out 1984 Ronald Reagan.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Well, Raga, across the entire country, members of labor unions voted for Trump at 51% to 49% for Kamala. So there are still a large amount, but consider the fact that people believe that union members are just dyed in the wool,
Right.
vote blue no matter who, Democrat until they die kind of voters.
Let's go.
And this is probably the first time in genuinely decades that
Are we departing?
union members in the entire country majority voted for the Republican candidate over the Democrat. This is astonishing stuff.
Ripping this is. Oh, this blooming heat.
All right then.
Well, I don't think it's that he's growing up Scarecrow Bar so much as Guy has been known to enjoy the weed, and I think he's cleaning up his act more along those lines. And when he has more lucid thoughts, we're just teasing you, Guy. Don't be bothered too much by it.
Hey, you. Proper ace.
Let me know when you get a chance to read that story, by the way.
Yeah. Just finishing my dinner here.
Mm.
Go ahead and take a look at it now. The Gooner of Nerve. This sounds promising.
Hey, mister.
All right then.
Aha. Proper aces. Now what am I to do? Oh, this blooming. Hang on.
That's all.
Well met, eh? Now what am I to do?
All right then.
Let's go.
Oi.
Wonderful.
It's called Gooning.
Well met, eh? Oi there.
All right then.
Shinji, whatever you do, don't stop gooning. End credits roll with a montage of Shinji's gooning journey.
I thought it was a pretty good one.
All right.
Excellent stuff. I enjoyed it.
All right then.
You.
Let's go.
Man, I saw, I was watching ESPN in the lunchroom today, and they were talking about the race for MVP in the NFL,
Mhm.
and it must genuinely be the easiest job in the world. The easiest job in the world. To have be a talking head on ESPN.
Mhm.
Because these guys are sitting there like, well, I don't know. I don't think Josh Allen's the MVP. My pick for MVP this season is Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are 9-1. You gotta give it to the. I'm all like, Mahomes is playing like shit.
Yeah, that would be... Dude, people would get so fucking pissed if he actually won MVP just because the team is winning.
Right.
People would lose their fucking minds. Joe Burrow's unbeaten numbers are MVP worthy, but his team is garbage, so he's got no chance. I feel for him.
And I saw Lamar's stats, which were like really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
However, the Ravens just are not as successful as the Bills.
Right.
I've got to give it to Josh Allen, especially the improvement from Josh Allen. Man, it's crazy.
Place.
What you need? What the hell's that?
Not all that glitters is gold, I suppose.
Oh no. What the?
Don't.
I see.
Then
Hey. What you need? The hell? Oh, come on.
What should we do?
Oh, Dr. Oz is part of the cabinet now, although in a very small role. He's like head of Medicare or something.
Yeah, it's pretty big from Stank. Like,
Yeah.
and this genuinely, all of this, like, it's the simplest fucking thing. This is why I think that AOC is actually the future of the Democratic Party, and I'm gonna explain why. Is because it's not because of her batshit beliefs, because her batshit beliefs were the party, but the party's changing and she's changing with it. She got rid of the pronouns in her bio. She's going back to using gendered language. But more importantly, she actually asked on Instagram. She said, if you're one of my voters and you voted for me, but you also voted for Donald Trump,
Yes.
I want to hear why. Not so that I can judge you, but because I want to know why you voted for me and you voted for Donald Trump. What were your reasons? And she listened, and she was doing like an Instagram live fucking stream as she's getting those, and she's responding to those comments. And I'm like, it's this right here. Because she and she alone right now in this party is remembering the entire concept of what this government is. It is a representative democracy,
All right.
which means you're there to represent the people who voted for you in your government. So why not ask them what they think and how they feel and what they want?
right?
That sounds like a good idea to me. So then Thank is like, I run the largest left-wing network online, and a Democratic leader has never asked me, ever, what my thoughts were on how we should govern the country. But Elon, who doesn't even have governmental authority yet, because he approaches it from the idea of a businessman. He's like, okay, what do you think we should do? Now, of course, if the only thing that Stank had to say was a bunch of useless, retarded bullshit, Elon would have been. He would have just straight up told him that's useless, retarded bullshit, which would have made Stank feel bad. But
Okay.
you know, these are too high of stakes to be left in the hands of people who are delusional. But the thing is, holy crap, he at least asked. You know.
Yeah.
I still think AOC is very far left, and she always will be. But still, like I said, Rye Guy, he felt the way that the party felt. Her insane positions were the platform of the Democrat Party.
Yeah,
You
she's
know,
proven
and
that she will move with the party for sure.
right. So if the party moves more to the center and abandons a lot of crap, you know, like what is she most well known for in terms of what she actually does in Congress? Yapping about the Green New Deal. If it becomes extremely obvious that the Green New Deal is a political non-starter in this country, I don't think she'll ever mention it again. Because, you know, a lot of people are sitting there saying, well, AOC only cares about power and she just wants to remain in office. Isn't that a good thing? If we are the ones that are shifting the Overton window, then that means that she will move with us because she wants to keep winning and stay in office.
Okay then.
Like
I mean,
like she is not doing what Bernie does. Bernie doesn't really care about any of that stuff.
yeah, fair enough.
All right. Can I cut in?
Then
That reminds me. Ready? Right.
Well, she's not going to stay in that seat forever, Rye Guy. In fact, I think in 2 years she might run for Schumer's seat for the Senate. So the power of what you're talking about, Rye Guy, is about to not really matter at all.
Ready? Yep.
You there!
Be right back, guys. Okay, I am back. Um, it's a little windy here, Nines. We had some power flickers, but nothing in the last couple hours.
No. What's the meaning of this? Come again? Huh.
I'd never heard of a cyclone bomb before, Guy. It was interesting. I hadn't heard of that phrase before.
What's this? Ah. You there?
Right.
Let's do it.
Draw and have at me.
We're in deep trouble if we let him call his allies.
Oh,
Strike
how
back.
much have you been paying attention to things since Biden authorized the use of the special weapons they have over there?
I have been paying attention. People are not happy about it.
Well, yeah, that they're not happy about it. But what I mean is, what's actually been happening in Ukraine?
That not so much.
Now.
Well, I predicted that this wouldn't be much of a big deal.
Mhm.
You know, I was talking about it, I think, yesterday. And I said, Russia shouldn't be scared of this. They can easily take the things out.
The power of healing.
Earlier, it was morning for us, like probably around 4 a.m. our side.
Mhm.
Ukraine fired six of the things.
Flare.
Russia shot down 5.
I shall vanquish
And they let the last one go through. They could have shot that one down too, but they realized it was going to hit a place where no one was there. So like, whatever. No casualties. So everyone's freaking out. Oh my God, this is going to start World War III. They fired fucking 6 of them. They shot down 5, and the last one went off. No one even got hurt.
Prevail.
Like,
Right.
the only thing that happened is that America just wasted even more money. Nothing's going to happen.
Only a flesh wound.
Prepare yourself.
Happens Bros really needed a win after the months that they've had, so it's good that it came for them.
Yeah, I guess.
Stop turning the fucking lights off, Jesus.
Let's try this.
Are you prepared?
For all that we strive for! As the point of a sword!
should work.
Light!
I can
Another
slap.
thing.
Right on target. Nice one, Stroll.
Join with me.
All right, let's go.
Behold my power.
Right. Smite him, Hulkenberg.
Oh, power of kings. Rancor. Just a scratch. Take this.
Only a
Damn you.
Oh, nice.
Vitus power.
Lawrence Southern had sex with Destiny? What?
Yeah, people are talking about that. I have no idea if it's true or not, though.
Black. I like this one, man. Check it out.
Apparently, Fetterman is saying that he would consider voting yes on Dr. Oz getting appointed to the cabinet, which would be quite an amusing turn of events.
Nice.
with blade in hand.
I'm counting on you.
Roar with royal might. They yet cling
Just
to
a
life.
scratch. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
This is nothing.
Now accept your fate. Some darker arts. Not bad. Such strength. What? What?
All right.
Oh man, do you remember the wife leaving out the peach meme, and then the husband eats the peach?
Kind of. Not really, though, I'm thinking.
All right.
This woman drew this bafflingly retarded comic where she was like, the difference between me and my husband. She sees a peach on the counter. She says, "Oh boy, the last peach. I'll save it for my children because my kids love peaches." And then husband, "Oh boy, the last peach." And then he eats the peach.
Mm-hmm.
And she posted it because she's like, "Aren't men so silly and selfish?" But instead everyone was all like, "Lady, you're a complete fucking bitch. Like, he's not a mind reader, and he literally saw a peach in the house. It's his fucking house. He bought that fucking peach. Why should it be a bad thing that he eats the fucking peach, really?"
Yeah.
It was essentially the female attempt at trying to do husband jack, and just like anything women do, it was a horrific failure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was laughing because people were bringing that up again, and they were posting all the memes they made about it. They had one. It was like
Here.
they had the husband was drawn as Saturn when in the famous painting where Saturn's eating his children.
Yeah.
So they had the husband was Saturn. He's eating a peach like that. They had another one. This is the one I love because I love Star Trek. Where the husband was Quark, the Ferengi. He goes, I swear to the divine treasury, if my wife put on clothes again, I'm gonna beat her with that peach.
Got a sec?
Truth is,
Hmm.
So,
I'll be back soon.
Okay.
no.
If so,
Pet my cat real quick.
really?
She wants attention. She's a good kitty. Yay. Okay, now I'll be right back.
All right. What do you think?
What's up? Take care of it, please.
Captain.
Ready? We're off. Check this out.
Click on the tweet so you can see what it's retweeting. Otherwise, it doesn't really make any sense, but it's hilarious.
Okay. Let's go. Watch out.
I guess Scarecrow Bar. I don't know.
Look at you! Nice! This is great! Well, maybe it'll come in handy. Wait! This is great! I knew... Amazing! That should come in handy. Pocket it. Wait! Glad that's done. Look at you!
Russell Westbrook had a triple-double today. That may be the last one of his career.
Not too shabby. Nice.
Ah, 'tis you.
Right.
All right. On guard!
Boy!
What do we do? This is no good. You did it!
As expected.
Come on!
My thanks.
All right. Okay then. Yeah! Hang on!
I thought I had all the guards.
I'm back. I finished cooking.
Welcome back. So, Russell Westbrook had a triple-double today. It may be the last triple-double of his career.
He really wanted that one because, like I was saying the other day, that one is 200 officially.
Mm-hmm.
He really wanted that one.
Also, the tweet I just sent you, you have to click it to see what it's quote retweeting to understand the context, but it's really funny.
Yeah. Wow.
Let's see. Ready? Right. Yep. Ready? Understood.
What are you up to?
What?
You might appreciate this.
What?
Wow.
Well,
What are you up to?
Mm. So apparently, Senk Unger confronted Alan Lichtman on a stream and was like making fun of him and shit, and Lichtman really, really got angry.
I'm actually watching that exact
Mm-hmm.
video right now.
What? Let's do it.
Oh, been waiting for this. You want to scrap with me, eh? Hey, you've got guts, that's for sure. Let's see how much of them we can spill.
If we don't shut this guy down, this is gonna get messy.
Come on, come on! Let's see some blood. Here I come, whelps. Come on! Kill or be killed! Right.
Let's get him some healing. The captain's on his last legs. Someone, get him healed
I'll
up.
use what I must. Rancor!
Come on! Kill or be killed!
Mine fades.
Shite!
Finesse. Beautiful dodge, Heisman.
Tis best used.
Heisman's
I
in
will
a
fight
daze.
with pride.
He's gonna have trouble aiming.
Clear it! We're not out of this yet.
I owe you. Trust needed.
Much thanks.
I'll give you all I've got.
I'll cut you down.
Is that with blade in hand? No. Magic knight! As the point of a sword!
Come on! Kill or be killed!
Everyone okay?
Still
Try to
fight.
heal up. You all hurt bad.
I fucking hate that attack.
Allow me to use it.
Same.
Heisman's in a daze. He's gonna have trouble
Based.
Do I need to? Let's go. With healing power.
My thanks.
I'm obliged.
Quite a boon.
I'm drunk, hyped, and ready to rumble.
I think you may enjoy this one.
Nothing like a fight to the death, eh? I can't afford
Oh
to hold
god.
back.
Oh, that's gonna piss people off.
This is a word you're not allowed to use.
We'll team up.
Behold my power!
Come on! Kill or be killed!
Mine fades.
Fuck the 49ers. Fuck the 49ers. Fuck the 49ers. Y'all some booty cheeks.
hurt bad.
Can't give up now.
Let's get him some healing.
Assassin! Then again... A favor, if I may.
We can do this.
Get him healed up.
Helpful as ever.
Thank you.
No holding back!
He won't land any attacks like this.
Hack and slash.
Heisman's in a
Observe
daze.
the enemy. Oh,
He's gonna have
power
trouble
of
aiming.
heroes! No, not this. Join with me. Perhaps Perhaps not. Let justice prevail. Worthy foe after all.
I can barely think. Rancor! Apologies.
The hell's your problem, eh?
Oh well.
Where's the worthy opponent? We good?
Can I do no more?
Okay. But we almost got him, so.
I see.
What are you talking about? I saved right outside the boss's room. Yeah. Yeah.
Ready? Understood.
What you said about my team.
What are you up to?
Oh man. Bitcoin hit 92,000.
Yep. I've been keeping an eye on it.
And I remember in 2022 when it cratered, I was talking to Callie that I really, really badly wanted to invest in Bitcoin because I knew it would bounce back. And this is probably like the cheapest it's ever going to get again. And she thought it was a good idea and she was really excited about it. But I mean, you remember how fucked up shit was.
Right.
Oh my god. How the fuck could I possibly get the spare money to actually invest in Bitcoin? I was barely keeping my head above water as it was. So yeah, it's
You wanna scrap with me, eh?
a little tragic, but
Come on! Kill or be killed!
still.
Can't give up now.
You all hurt bad.
Come on! Kill or be killed!
Think.
Captain's hurt bad.
Can't give up now.
Let's get him some healing.
Assassin! Rancor!
The captain's on his last
Let's
leg.
go.
Someone get
We
him
can do
healed up.
this. Helpful as ever. That's needed.
Quite a boon.
Stroll's dead.
Brawler!
He won't land any attacks like this.
Not now.
Moment
This calls
where you're reading something you think is really cool, and then you want to share it with me, and then you head back into the Discord channel and you realize that the reason you're reading it in the first place is because I shared it with you, because I just had that exact moment with this view tweet that you sent me. I'm like, man, Joker would love this, and I go back to the Discord and you were the one that posted it. I'm like, fuck, man, how old am I?
Yeah.
Going full Biden just.
Yeah, I'm starting to have those senior moments. I think I'm cooked.
A wise choice.
I might be cooked.
Absolutely. Well, don't worry. Just 2 more months, the RFK gets in and mandates that the fluoride in water be replaced with super male vitality.
hack and slash.
We're all gonna get jacked.
You all I've got.
Let us fight as one.
Coordination is key.
And thus I end it.
What does everyone here think about the military as a career? It's in this country. It's been a great way for people to escape bad life situations to get their life on the good track. But I don't know about it now, man. Because like even people who signed up long term when Trump won the first time ended up getting fucked over if they didn't leave when Biden was in office. Because then they mandated that you had to get vaccinated. I had a friend who was in the army. He joined because Trump was president. And when Biden got in and mandated that everyone had to take the vaccine, he actually got medically discharged because they straight up told people, they said, the only way you can stay in is if you get this vaccine. If not, fine, no questions asked, you're medically discharged, but you cannot stay in without that vaccine. And I think that's still a policy. Because, I mean, Trump's obviously not president yet, so I wouldn't be surprised, but I would just say now, be careful. Because, you could end up having somebody be in charge of the military who is actually a complete shitbag and they do something that is life-ruining.
Have you been familiarized with the controversy of today around the first ever transgender House rep, and that she wants to use the women's bathroom, and they're basically making it so that she has to use the men's bathroom? Because, you know.
That's based. Very based. No, I haven't heard about this, but it's good to hear that.
There was a big controversy today.
Not bad, if I say so myself.
Yeesh.
But
Yeah.
Now then.
well,
All right.
let's go. Yeah. Pushing forward.
Alan Lichtman now claiming the Democrats lost because they pushed out Biden, and that they would have won if Biden had stayed in the race. Man.
They're gonna cope. They're gonna cope like that for a long time.
So, Nate Silver wrote a new article today. I do actually recommend reading it. There's some pretty amusing stuff in there.
Oh, absolutely. I'll do that in just a second.
I just sent you the link.
Right.
Here.
Look. Wait.
That. All right.
Then.
So apparently,
Hmm.
Well,
Understood. We're off.
If Biden had stayed in the race, I honestly think that he would have lost New Jersey and New Mexico and Virginia.
And New York and Illinois and all those.
Like, Illinois might have been on the table. I think people do underestimate how many voters in America are not that emotionally attached to a candidate. They just want to take
Not
a
only
look
that-
at where things are every 4 years and be
Right.
like, okay, what makes the most sense?
Not only that, but here's the big one. No one can actually argue that things are better than they were when Biden took office.
That's true.
They're not. Kamala had to say there are some good things that we did, but there's also some bad things, but I'm not responsible for those bad things. She was effectively running against herself. But there are people who believed, well, you know, she's the vice president really can't blah, 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 blah. So, you know, it's not really her fault.
Mhm.
But if it was Biden, it's 100% his fault. So he's got this bowl of shit in his lap and he's got to just own it.
well,
Yeah, he's going to get his ass whipped. Like,
Like, how many millions of people do you think watched the Biden-Trump debate and were just like, well, I don't really, I don't have a positive opinion of Trump, but there's no way I can vote for Biden. He's too old to be the president. And then
If
they
he's-
just stop
right.
thinking at that point.
right. And what's even worse is if he stayed in the race, then you would have had the entirety of the rest of the election is everyone begging him to step down. There were some brutal fucking calls for him to step down. You had what George Clooney said. You had what Obama was doing. You had what Nancy was doing.
Hmm.
So they're going to sit there now and say, oh, if only we had the foresight to keep him in the race. You were literally trying to get him removed. Like, by force. You can't... How stupid do you think people really are to say that kind of shit? It's wild, man. But before I read that Nate Silver story, I wanted to catch up by talking about that the View thing.
Right.
To me, that just confirms beyond a shadow of a doubt Gates is getting in. Because it's plain and simple. They're like, well, they had to say this to avoid getting sued. Who the fuck cares about getting sued? You don't show your whole ass like that with a gun to your head if you don't think that it's loaded. You know, it's like, oh, the guy's obviously getting in, no matter how much we screech.
What do you think?
The last thing we want is this guy who's going to have an extraordinary amount of power to have a reason to fuck with us. So,
Yeah.
like, you could just see it in the look on her face. Like,
He looks like a hostage.
exactly. You know, she doesn't do that if they think that he's not going to get confirmed.
Hey,
Because even though, like you said, there's no fucking way they have the votes, doesn't matter. Trump will just say, fuck it, you're in recess,
hey.
eat my ass.
Right. I think actually because all these cases are getting postponed, they're not even going to be able to say that Donald Trump is a convicted felon when this is over because the case is not going to actually get to that point. So...
Not only that, but again, the appeals court is in the middle of overturning the conviction in the first place. Oh, ouch. But yeah, they really... The entire country can see that it was a political prosecution and not valid. And the whole point of it was to be able to say, he's a convicted felon. And it's all like, you know what? There are so many world leaders throughout history who were unfairly convicted of bullshit. And you just put them up there as a martyr. We told you that shit back when you were doing it. You know, it's funny because if they just listened to right-wingers the entire time who told them don't do this, then they probably might have won. If they just let him be, you know? Ugh. What clowns.
Damn it.
I really, 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 really hate it. This is the first sentence of that Nate Silver story, bro. I really hate it when people refer to their spouse as their partner. Because that means you are a homosexual.
Nate Silver
Is
is
he
gay.
gay?
Yes, he is.
He is okay.
Nate
My
Silver's
God.
married to a
'Cause I'm
man. Yeah.
okay. Well, that actually explains a lot. But because I was about to, like, so many fucking people call their wife their partner. They call their husband when they're a woman their partner. And I'm like, I never fucking know. I just assume that you're gay. And thankfully, in this case, it actually is. I had no idea. But that really does explain a lot.
hmm
My God. The hell kind of fucking retard. You ought to pack plenty of water when you go on a 6-mile hike, even when it's cold out. Yeah, duh. Wow.
Some people probably don't know that, though. I could believe that.
And Nate Crystal would indeed be one of the people I would assume would not know to, just because it's not hot doesn't mean I won't get thirsty. Yeah, because you never drink water in the winter before, have you? Oh, you have? My God.
No. Ho, ho.
Like, Nate Silver's a Democrat, but he knows how to call out Democrats' bullshit, which he does quite a bit, which is why I appreciate reading most of his work.
Yeah. Because I'm still very early into the article, but it appears to be turning around now. The very beginning really came off as just being more cope.
Right.
So I was about to just start rolling my eyes and be like, oh, fucking Christ. But then finally it's all like, hey. Oh, now we're going in a good direction. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Halt. Understand?
I only disagree with this paragraph here. He says that the polls in this election served as a royal precisely because they were so close. Hold on. Oh, fucking phone's exploding. All right. Precisely because they were so close to polls installation serves the Rorschach test. If you came away with the impression that either Harris or Trump was a heavy favorite, you probably need to re-examine your media diet because you were being spun.
Yeah, that I don't
Donald
agree
Trump won. Yeah, exactly. I don't agree with that either. Donald Trump won in the biggest ass kicking in 40 years. He handed down a once in a generation level ass beating. It's the first time the Republicans won the popular vote since 2004. And he's like, you know, if you thought that Trump was a heavy favorite, it's like, yes, he was.
I'll not say it again.
I mean, for
The
an
polls
election in modern America, this is a blowout. Now, in the grand scheme of things, no, it's not a blowout. He won by 2 million votes in an election with over 150 million votes. I understand that, but it's impossible to get that much higher than that anymore.
Right. Yeah, I vehemently disagree with him there.
Mm-hmm.
For the kind of insolent devil who disobey a superior officer.
Like, I don't know of any attempting to be serious election analysts who said that Trump was going to win New Jersey and New York and Colorado and New Mexico. I do know left-wing analysts who are trying to be serious who said that Kamala was going to win Iowa and Ohio and Florida and Texas. So if
Right.
right-wing analysts who thought that Trump was going to win with 450 electoral votes exist, I'd like to meet them, but I don't think they exist.
Right. The extent of that shit was Reagan level blowout 49-1, which were just
We
memes.
have to take both of them at the
But
same
like you
time?
said,
We'd better take them out fast.
right-wing polling sources were a hell of a lot closer than left-wing polling sources because Trump swept every single swing state. New Jersey was within 5 points. Texas was less close than New York. This was a huge ass kicking for Republicans. So sitting there saying you were being spun if you thought Trump was a heavy favorite. He was a heavy favorite. He won heavily. Like, Jesus Christ.
The article really highlights one thing that I think is very true. There were a lot of people who were trying to be taken seriously who looked at the data and found a way to spin it in a way that is very clearly not reflective of reality. And that's what he's writing about, basically.
Power. Light.
I shall. I'll cut you down.
Yeah, like this. He actually name dropped the Hopium Chronicles, that
Yeah.
fucking website. He's like, check out some of the tweets from Simon Rosenberg. I wonder why he was wrong. Heading into election night, Trump is not leading in the battleground early vote because Democrats always lead in the early vote.
Yeah.
We're not out of this yet.
What a retarded thing to bring up. Is not leading in the polls with most forecasters.
He literally was. That's just like
Wow.
made up.
Give me your aid.
First of all, that. Second of all, you're really going to talk about, oh, Donald Trump, he's not polling well. Really? And this is a hilarious one. Did not raise more money, have more volunteers, or have as big of crowds as Harris. Holy fuck, what a delusional ape. This guy's ape-ass retarded, Jesus.
Yeah, and the problem is people listen to this guy and think, I'm looking for somebody to guide me because I don't understand political math very well. So they look
Right.
to him, and he guides them like this.
I'm counting on you.
Just complete bullshit.
I can take it.
Like, I can tell you with 100% certainty that there were a lot of people who thought that Florida was going to be blue because of Chris Boozy. And all he did was spew bullshit for like 4 months on X nonstop. And then just come out and make one tweet about how, oh, I got it wrong. It's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't get it wrong. You were lying. The whole time, you were lying.
Yes. Do you really think that a Jewish person would lie on the internet for money?
The Hopium Chronicles.
Unbelievable. Unfucking believable.
With healing power.
Helpful as ever.
That's neat.
Much thanks. I call upon royal power within.
Not the right move.
I'll wipe you out. I see your game. Too quick.
The power of healing.
Simon Rosenberg.
Let's set it up. No, let's go. Light.
Brawler.
Not the right move.
I shall vanquish evil.
Let me rethink.
After me.
We'll combine our strength.
I don't know, Scarecrow Bar. You tell me.
I'll wipe you out.
That's finesse. Beautiful dodge, Heisman.
Join with me.
I'm counting on you.
Roll with Royal Knight.
By the way, Linda McMahon is the head of the Department of Education. So she's literally there just to destroy what she's been put in charge of. Like, she's literally supposed to be the last secretary of the Department of Education ever. So people are gonna get
That's based.
butthurt about that, but understand that she has one job.
It's awesome.
Destroy everything around her.
Oh, thank you. You just reminded me. I saw a lot of people being retarded and being like, "What the fuck? Why is Robert Kennedy the health secretary? He doesn't have any experience in healthcare in this industry at all." And it's all like, you dumbass, the fucking current health secretary had no experience in the healthcare industry.
Right.
Face me.
He got put in there because he's a car part. That's the whole fucking point.
Settle for the easy way.
He had nothing to do with the story. And you... Oh, man. And I watched a guy on some news show who was blowing this broad up because he was going on that. And he's all like, "Hey, are you forgetting that the current health secretary didn't have it?" And he's like, "Well, that's different." Oh, it was actually Jen Psaki, whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
And he was roasting her on this fucking show. He's like, "Well, that's not the same because he was the attorney general in some place in California." And he's all like, "So then he would have experience in suing healthcare businesses, but not in..." He's like, "What the fuck does that have to do with anything?"
Perhaps now accept your fate.
It's disgraceful.
Flare it. Flare.
Brawler. Let's get on with it. could do with this.
These are weak points.
The helm and the moves.
Here!
Caesar got them right in their weak
Assassin!
spot.
Too much, perhaps? I'll use this.
Won't take much more. Let's take it.
Moves, Heisman.
I won't hold back. Light.
And it is wild, all the different people that Nate Stover's naming in his article as being members of the Hopium Chronicles and ridiculous bullshit artists who were peddling nonsense, fucking retarded, ridiculous horseshit for the last 4 years.
This is the end.
He's naming all these people, he's calling all of them out. I'm like, Jewish, 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 Jewish. Like, holy fuck. Pretty crazy.
I think Jews were one of the few demographics that Kamala held her own in compared to Biden. The issue, of course, being that there are not that many Jews, so it doesn't matter at all.
Well, it wasn't even Jews as a whole. It was Jewish women. Jewish men still majority supported her. However, compared to 2020, they also broke for Trump. She still got more of their votes, but it was a huge increase, like it was for black men. Still overwhelmingly supported Kamala, but there was a huge break for Trump. Yes, the three demographics she improved on Biden's performance on were black women, Jewish women, and gay men. And that is it.
And Jewish women literally make up about 1% of the electorate. Gay men probably make up, what, 2% at most? Probably less.
Also 1% of the electorate, because that 2% is the entire LGBT umbrella.
Yeah, and then you had, what was the other one? Black women. Now, black women make up probably about 6 to 7%, but that's still not really doing much for you.
Oh, come on.
Exactly. That's why, it is bothering me as I'm reading this article and he's talking about the election was close. And it's like, what part of sweep, in addition to Trump improved in every conceivable way that you can think of, what the hell makes that close to you? Like,
I think he just means it in the sense that it wasn't like Obama in 08 or even Bill Clinton in 96.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, I get what he's saying. But it was a shockingly undramatic finish. I think Democrats have even admitted they thought there was going to be like a protracted, like, legal battle after the election. And they actually had all of their constituents scheduled to stay in hotels until like Thursday, because they fully expected that that they would be at least hanging around that long to see who wins.
Right. And instead, it was an early night.
Yeah. Yes, Ryguy, Lee Zeldin is, I believe, the only Jewish person in Trump's cabinet so far.
We have to take both of them at the same time?
Oh, and earlier today, I guess Nick Fuentes said that he gives up on trying to go against Trump. He said that Trump has way too much aura. I can't go against him anymore.
Well, yes, because he's been trying to be like, every member of the cabinet he's nominated so far is a Zionist. And it's all like, really? There's only one. This is the least Jewish cabinet in presidential history since they started putting Jews in the cabinet. So.
We can do this. We got it. Let's work together. Vitus power. No, this won't work. Here.
Their weakness.
Like, one thing that Nate Silver has said that I really don't agree with is that Kamala is a much better candidate than Hillary. And I actually think Hillary was probably a better candidate. And I think that maybe she didn't run a very good campaign, but I think Hillary has electoral strengths that Kamala does not.
Yes, I agree with you, and have similar thoughts on that. Hillary was a substantially better candidate than Kamala was, and I don't even think that she ran a worse campaign. I think she was just arrogant. Kamala, I truly believe this. I think Kamala ran potentially the worst campaign in American presidential history of a major party candidate. You know, we're not going to count things like Vermin Supreme here,
Yeah.
but of a major party candidate, I don't think anyone's done worse than Kamala. Like, 'cause the only person you could even argue did worse than Kamala would be Biden in 2020, because he hardly did anything. But it's hard to call that the worst campaign because he won. We know it's bullshit, but
I think
you know,
Dukakis is really far down there. Like, Dukakis
oh yeah,
made so many fucking mistakes. That was an awful campaign.
he definitely ran a terrible campaign also. But literally the only reason that Kamala was even seen as being legitimate is because she was literally bribing people to go out in public and tell people that it was legit. The fact she had to fucking... How much money did she give to Beyonce? Jesus Christ.
I'm counting on you.
Like, I'll say it again, if I was a celebrity and I felt like my endorsement could help a politician I want to win, they would not need to pay me to endorse them. It is so strange to me that that is how this works.
Then again,
I guess the argument is endorsing the candidate might hurt my career, so I need to make up for it. But when you're endorsing a Democrat, I don't think it does hurt your career that much.
With these fists, I strike for just. This calls for one of these. I'll take much more.
I stand ready. Comrades,
Well, not only that, but
Coordination is
Oprah's a billionaire.
roar with royal
If she thinks endorsing Kamala is going to hurt her career, how does $1 million make up for that? Just $1 million?
Yeah, that too.
rancor. Mandible bearing.
I'll wipe you out. They're too quick.
Lend me your strength. Take it.
Their weakness. That's your opening, Captain.
After me. No holding back.
This is another thing that I seriously disagree with Nate about. He's talking about,
observe the enemy.
through massive stimulus spending made possible by those runoff wins in Georgia, the Federal Reserve and Biden ran the economy hot, which produced a rapid recovery in the labor market, but at the cost of high inflation.
All right, let's go.
I really don't understand why he would say that what Biden did caused a recovery in the labor market. Because the recovery in the labor market was the fact that every job in the planet sent their people home because of COVID. And once COVID was over, people came back.
Smooth, Eisne.
Well, I think it is worth pointing out here that Nate Silver is stupid rich. So he is probably one of the
Yeah.
people who isn't even really aware of things like that, where you have to be a little bit closer to the ground floor to know what's really going on. I think that is at
Yeah.
play. Like, Nate Silver is worth, I think, he might be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know. I haven't looked it up. But like with the wagers he was making on the election several months ago, this is somebody who has a lot of money.
Oh, wow. It's actually substantially less.
Hold on. Come
Really?
This is net worth. It's not things that don't factor in liquidity and stuff like that. It is your complete net worth.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Let's get on with it.
On the highest possible end, it's potentially $10 million.
Really? And what is he
But
doing
as of
making
last-
$250,000 wagers?
As of last year, and this is the low end here, but it was confirmed last year.
This
So it's on the low end to think if, it hasn't gone up that much in this year. last year it was 2 million. So if he's making $250,000 bets, and his net worth, which includes shit that's not liquid, like the net worth probably including the fucking value of his house, and
That
he's making
surprises me.
$250,000 bets,
Yeah.
this guy's insane.
hmm
He's a fucking madman. Especially because he's losing them.
Well, no, he offered to make a $250,000 bet on Trump beating Biden after the debate because some, clowns were like in his replies telling him to stop talking bad about Biden, and he was like, he actually said to somebody like, dude, I will bet you any amount of money you want.
Right.
Like literally any amount of money. I think he said this to Alan Lichtman. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he did.
Now, the highest claim that I have seen anyone put down as being his net worth was 20 million. However, it's worth noting the source for this is forums.runehammer.online, so I'm not gonna consider that a valid source. In addition to that, that is including the valuation of 538 as a company, which he no longer has.
I wonder if he got a fat severance package when 538 booted him, and that's why his net worth went so far up.
Hey,
That would make
Mayhaps.
sense.
Yeah,
what?
but yeah, it's much lower than we thought. But anyway, yeah, it's just the damnedest thing to me, like, because it's not like he's talking bullshit because he's wrong. But he's not talking bullshit in the sense of there are actually a lot of people who believe that crap. And I'm sitting here like, guys, people lost their jobs because of COVID, and then once it was over, they got rehired. I mean, does anybody else remember the fucking whole, bro, the whole reason that you got laid off is because it's part of the overwhelming aspect of the whole tech sector as a whole. Like, what your companies are going through aside, tech completely, and therein being tech jobs and such. So this is where it actually becomes relevant for you. There was massive overhiring as a response from COVID, and it wasn't turning into actual production, so they had to start laying people off. So what a lot of companies did is exactly like your company did, which was take the absolute highest paid people, cut them out, and then take the next level down, have them start training in a new wave of people who will be working for less, and then once that training was deemed satisfactory, cut down the people at your level, and then just like that, you cut down not only your massive overhiring and kept all the shitters who, really don't know what they're doing yet, and you also saved yourself a bunch of money on payroll. It wasn't just your company. Everybody did that.
Yeah.
So if everybody did that, and it was a direct response to the fact that they massively overhired as a response from COVID, how the fuck do you say that Biden printing a billion jillion, the money printer going crazy?
It does go back to
God.
something that I think is very true that needs to be talked about more. Like, it is a losing strategy to tell the 70% of Americans who think the economy sucks that the economy is actually good. That's what the left has been trying to do for like a couple years now, insisting that the economy is good because unemployment is low and that there have been a lot of new jobs created over the last 4 years, to people who, in every poll out there, 70 to 75% say, no, well, we think the economy is not good.
What now?
Right. It's astonishing to me that they could lose so completely and so utterly and so totally and so extravagantly and yet they're still talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're a Seahawks fan. After you won that Super Bowl, did you ever see a Broncos fan talk shit?
Not really.
Exactly. Like, why would you? You were just on the ass end of the biggest ass kicking anybody had ever seen. Why would you talk shit after that? And yet that's exactly what Democrats do. Like, it's only been 2 weeks and they're still talking this shit. It's only been 2 weeks. They're like, no, that didn't actually happen.
Complete fiction.
We made it up. Not this time. I went to Walmart to get that food. That's what I was making.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, they didn't have the brisket burned ends. They were sold out. So I went with a pork roast, which was still good.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't as good as that brisket.
Brisket's great.
Yes, it is.
So some of the leftists that I have on my list on X were trying to dunk on Elon because I guess the SpaceX launch today failed on the final stage. Like it wasn't able to land back in the original launch point, so it had to throw itself into the water basically so they can retrieve it. And like everything else worked. It launched, it went into space, it came back. It just couldn't quite get the it just couldn't quite get back into the home base, and people are like trying to dunk on him, and it's like, man, it is really sad when you're trying to dunk on the richest man on the planet because his rocket didn't work perfectly this time.
Right. It's like, man, you guys are gonna have a very rough 12 years. And I'm gonna love every minute of it.
What now?
I accidentally scared my cat, so she ran away.
Many such cases.
Yeah. Not my fault. I didn't know my elbow was about to smack something that would make a loud noise. But I'm still reading this article. I haven't finished it yet. There's a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Like, can you really blame somebody if they go, I don't trust Kamala taking far left positions 5 years ago and now taking centrist positions? Like, I don't trust that she's actually going to change. Like, can you really fault anybody for thinking that?
Yeah, because I mean, you could sit there and say, well, you know, people change and blah, blah, blah. But, like, the problem is that Kamala is trying to peddle that narrative while at the same time being like, I'm going to change a bunch of things when she's actively vice president and can change them now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't wait for this lady to fuck off. Definitely a low point in American history that we put a prostitute up for a presidential nomination. Because I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. No matter what you want to say, I'm old enough to remember news videos that they ran about Willie Brown, where Kamala Harris was actively his arm candy. And then a few years after that, she became Montel Williams' side piece. I'm like, I'm sorry, you know. It doesn't matter. She turned her life around. Good for her. But you don't erase being a whore. That's just part of who you are. You can't get away from it.
Right. Let's do this.
It true. It true. It true.
See, I like this line even more now that I know that Nate Crystal is gay.
Mm-hmm.
He said,
I've been saving this.
I don't want to dwell on it, and I make a specific point in this newsletter of not talking about trans issues any more than I absolutely have to. In general, I think they're less of an electoral liability for Democrats than people often assume. But there's a reason that you couldn't escape the Kamala for they-them ad.
Yeah.
And I just love that so much. Now that I know Nate Crystal is gay, it becomes even better. Because it's like, I really don't want to come and have to take a swing at my fellow LGBTers, but my God, I have to.
Well, I think it is true that there is LGB, and then there's the T, and the LGB does not like the T very much.
I am always prepared.
You'll come again, won't you?
Let's go.
Ah! Ah!
18 to 29 by 25 points in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Kamala won those same voters by 4 points. And that can largely be explained by more women in that age group voted than men in that age group.
Yeah.
The kids are going to be all right. Holy shit, because remember all the talk about Gen Z would be the most conservative generation since World War II, and Gen Alpha is going to be even more conservative than them. And people were worried because, you know, the oldest of the Zoomers who had reached adulthood, you know, they're like, oh yeah, we're all fags. It's like, well, the younger kids made it to being able to vote now, and holy shit, they love Hitler. Oh my God.
Did you read that one article that was posted the day after the election? It was written by a 16-year-old high school student girl who was like, when I went to school the day after the election, all the girls I saw were crying and sad, and all the boys were just playing Minecraft in the computer lab.
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was great.
I have a cousin who is a lesbian, however, her and her partner are very pro-Trump, believe it or not. Could you ask him if I can watch?
Hey. Huh? Hey. No. Hey. What?
What if Joe Biden went on Rogan now? Or after he leaves office, he goes on Rogan.
That would be very, very, very interesting. They're in their 50s. How are they your cousin then? I don't know how that works.
I personally have nephews that are older than me. So it does happen. I have nephews that are like almost 10 years older than me.
Oh. Okay, that makes more sense. That's, I get you just calling him cousin, but that's when you get to the once removed kind of thing. But anyway.
I'll not say it again. Military discipline is absolute. I've no sympathy for the kind of insolent devil who disobey a superior officer.
You love to see it.
Pretty soon there will be Uncle Jack and Grandmother Jack and third cousin twice removed Jack. We've created too many Jacks. We spent so much time thinking about whether or not we could, we didn't stop to ask if we should.
Right.
We have to take both of them at the same.
I'll wipe you out.
So now we have to find some way to get rid of all these Jacks. This summer, Arnold Schwarzenegger in Offing Jack.
Too many Jacks.
I'll use
Exactly.
Can't take much more.
The power of healing.
The first fucking comment on that article is some retarded lefty saying, I like the optimism that Trump won't be on the ballot in 4 years.
After me.
Oh my god.
Right move. What are my options? Give me your aid.
You can do this.
This is it.
Like I said, my dad's friend, who I told you about the other night, he believes everything that MSNBC tells him. So he honestly thinks that Trump is going to be president for life. And it's going to turn into a monarchy. He actually believes that.
Ready for a real
So it's really not that hard for people to get to that point, but it would also be very easy for them to realize their assumption is incorrect. It wouldn't be that hard for them to look it up and realize, well,
Counting on you.
that probably can't happen even if he wants to.
Yeah, not only that, but I'm sitting there like, man, don't threaten me with a good time. Like,
Face me.
ugh.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. Do you understand that?
I'll see you climb
Exactly.
We're not out of this yet.
helpful as ever.
I'm obliged.
My thanks.
I'll wipe you out.
Yeah, I like this guy in the comments and what he said.
Only
He said, other forecasters, such as Split Ticket, talked about a horrible campaign that Trump had run, when, let's be real, he ran a really effective campaign. The Madison Square Garden rally and many other things were just Harris supporters hoping against hope that the narrative would change. Their big example of a terrible campaign, focusing on people who weren't going to vote,
I shall fight.
right up until they actually did.
Yeah.
This is a great fucking point, because he's like, you know, the big problem here is not that the data was bad. A lot of the data was good. It's just that the analysis was terrible. You know, the data was good. The Democrats were leading in the early voting. The analysis was terrible because these retards convinced themselves that doing the same thing they've done every election ever meant that they were going to win. When the early voting was actually a catastrophe for the Democrats because their lead had completely evaporated. It was just a narrow lead, and that's when they get most of their voting done, and then they got their asses kicked. Like, if you get swept in every single swing state, New Jersey is within 5, and New York is closer than Texas. You did not come even close to competing.
Yeah, Alan Lichtman recently made a video where he said Donald Trump ran the worst campaign of any president in American history, which is really, really silly to say that at this point. But, like, if you break it down here, he actually ran a very good campaign.
Not only that, but I'm sitting here like that statement is so laughably false. This isn't even the worst campaign Trump himself has run while winning and being elected president.
I think this might be the best
2016
campaign he's run, honestly.
Yes, absolutely. 2016 was a fantastic campaign, but how many people are talking about it all the time? Just the aura of so many. Trump has nearly 10 different photographs that have been taken of himself this year alone. Any one of those pictures could win the Pulitzer Prize, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Any one of those pictures could go down in history books as the iconic photo of the United States in the year of 2024, and I wouldn't be mad. Whether it's Trump raising his hand in triumph and defiance after being shot, or if it's him waving goodbye at the McDonald's drive-thru. Whether it's his mugshot or the smile on his face after John Jones handed him the championship belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's just so many different fucking pictures of this guy that are extraordinary. And that was all just this year, just this campaign. And he's like, this is the worst campaign any president. It's like, this isn't even the worst campaign Trump himself has run. This campaign was outstanding. And if you really want to talk about that, well, fuck, you need to look no further than 4 years ago. Biden never left his fucking house. He barely ever appeared in public. And you could sit there and say, well, that's because of COVID. Doesn't matter. You literally cannot call that a good campaign. Outside of the fact that he quote unquote won.
Well, like,
but if you're going to give him credit for that shit,
there was some stuff that Trump did that hurt him. It didn't make him lose, but it did hurt him. I don't really think he did anything this time that hurt him. Like, the Puerto Rico thing did not hurt him. You can say that it was bad, but it did not hurt him.
Also, it wasn't even him that did it. The closest thing, I think, to anything that hurt him in this campaign was his debate against Kamala. But even though people say, well, Kamala won the debate because of a bunch of ridiculous bullshit, just like I said the day it happened, that Trump had the optics of looking way better coming out of that. Because he had all of the sound bites, which are what debates are for, and he won the support of the people because what they saw was him being bullied by the commentators. Like, why the fuck aren't these people just letting him talk?
Yeah. Like, in 2016, I don't know how much it hurt him, but Pussygate definitely hurt him. And then when his response to Pussygate was just basically like, well, Bill Clinton has said worse. Like, that's not a very good argument. That didn't help. So there were things he did that were clearly pulling him down a little bit. But I don't think there was anything like that this time. Oh shit, dude. Harry Sisson's gonna get red-pilled very quickly here. You probably have already seen this, but I just sent it to you. This was several days ago.
Yes, I have seen it because I searched concubines on Twitter, and that people are like, "Oh my God, he's making himself even more attractive for Robert O'Neill." Jesus Christ.
It's okay.
They do argue that being in really good shape and being very muscular and being left-wing is incompatible.
We can do this.
So we'll find out.
Yes.
We'll find out.
Almost always, yeah. Because you know, the more you lift weights and the more muscle you build, the more testosterone is released in your system. And it's not a joke, it's not a meme. You can't say that it is because we have the data to back it up. Homosexual men are massively left-wing. Meanwhile, straight men are easily the core block of right-wing supporters. And you see that even if you discount race and you just look at gender, it is very obvious, looking at that, men skew right, women skew left.
Can anyone heal him?
You know, it's not just a coincidence. Especially not when you look at the actual policies. You know, right-wingers, regardless of nation and the political system, being on the right wing has a lot to do with self-determination and giving yourself the best opportunity to be able to live your life without other people interfering, which is inherently a masculine trait.
Right.
And left-wingers, regardless of country or political system, support
Let's stay calm.
having a structure system available where people will take care of you regardless of how fucked up you are,
I shall vanquish
which is inherently a feminine trait, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to be supported in being useless by the tribe versus wanting to be able to strike out on your own and, you know, not have the ATF kill you.
Not the right move. After me. Let's do this.
Surprised if he actually was serious about doing that kind of thing, if he did end up becoming right wing, because you know, Zuckerberg had no intention of becoming right wing when he started working out, and suddenly he's cycling fucking tests, and then a couple of months later he's coming out and he's like, yeah, Biden told me to censor people talking about COVID on Facebook, and I regret doing that. My bad.
Right. Actually,
It didn't take long.
I can't find the article. The article was behind a paywall, so even though I could find it, I couldn't really link you to it. But there was an article that I looked at a few days ago about how UFC used to be very left-wing, and over the last several years, they've just let it get away from them. Which, when you think about it, is surprising. But I think a big part of it is that most UFC or a lot of UFC fighters are black, and until very recently, black people felt like they always had to support Democrats no matter what, and you're seeing that start to slip away.
Right.
And the in the absence of that poll, I think a lot of these people are realizing, hey, we're masculine, where we should be on we should be on the other side. It actually makes way more sense.
And it also cannot be discounted the influence of Dana White, who has long been a right winger and long been a Trump guy, and having your boss and the owner of the company, the guy that signs your paychecks, openly being a guy who supports that, you know, it makes it easier for you to come around and be able to support it publicly too. Because it's not just what you were talking about, but think about it in a vacuum. Well, a couple of days ago, the brother of Pac-Man Jones supported Donald Trump so extensively that he not only did his signature dance in celebration, but he handed his fucking championship belt to him afterward. Aside from the fact that it's John Jones, the fact that Pac-Man Jones' his brother is, you're like, that's inconceivable almost, you know?
It is very weird to think about UFC being a left-wing sports league, but it was the case until fairly recently.
Another thing to consider too, there's a lot of non-Americans in UFC because it is an international thing. So you'd have a lot of Europeans would come in and they'd be like, yes, I am from Europe, I love communism. It's like, okay.
We know.
Right. But yeah, things have changed a lot. Because, you know, Conor McGregor from Ireland obviously was a very left-wing place, otherwise they wouldn't be filled with infinity immigrants right now. And then after everything that's happened in the last several years, Conor's at the point now where it's like he's running for president of Ireland because he wants to support all the Africans. It's like, I need to get all these people out of me fucking country. I'm gonna make Ireland healthy again.
This calls for one of these.
take much more. Ready for a real
Power
fight.
of heroes.
Coordination is key.
Harry Sisson is welcome on the right guy, but only as a concubine. I seriously cannot fucking believe the guy who shot Bin Laden said that. Oh my god.
Royal sword.
There is a pushback against Irish immigration, to be fair.
Oh yeah.
In my brain, the first thing I thought of was, yeah, we don't want the Irish in our country.
Everyone up top. Oh, bolts of lightning.
Oh man. Where's that picture of Bill the Butcher?
How I imagine this.
Some dark hearts. Mandible bearing.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah, we got them. We got this motherfucker. Alright, we got these motherfuckers. Motherfucker! First we're gonna rock, then we're gonna roll.
And we're gonna stop. Oh, let him roll. Action, I'll give it to you. You're gonna give it to you. Action. Stop. Drop. Shut him down, up and up, shut. Oh, no. That's the Rough Riders roll. I'm gonna have to stop here because I'm like, it is really, really hard to sing a DMX song and not want to scream out the bad parts.
Mhm.
Have a very strong dick / cum aroma. This gives me a great idea for a grok story. Oh man.
And by the way, there is a quote retweet there that it doesn't have a lot to do with the post, but it sets the context a little bit.
Alright.
A halfway decent result.
Not bad at all.
Nice. I feel
I continue.
I didn't know I had it in me.
Yes.
got it.
Just love that line. Have a very strong dick and cum aroma.
All right. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Okay. Okay.
God damn it, I want to save.
All right.
No.
Sam. Yes.
I'm leaving.
So apparently, Johnny Somali's doing so much stuff in Korea, they might actually just give him the death penalty.
Oh fuck yes.
Like, God, what was that thing I saw earlier today? Let me look this up. He was like playing North Korean propaganda in South Korea.
Oh my. Bro, if South Korea achieves TND, then I'm just gonna say fuck it. Let's all get Korea pilled. Let's
Oh, okay. Yeah, here we
do
go.
it.
Here's the thing that I saw earlier today.
However,
That's true.
Now then.
indeed.
Sure, but... I got this.
Oh, all right, cool. This is exactly what I needed.
We'll keep going forward. We won't hesitate.
What a complete ape.
Does he think he's going to get away with this, or is he just brain damaged?
Yep.
He thinks he's going to get away with it because he's stupid enough to think that if he apologizes, it'll make everything okay, because it's worked for him in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So he begged for mercy and apologized, and that was like 2 weeks ago, and they're obviously not, they're like, you can't just fucking say sorry on this one, dipshit. They're not letting him go, so
True.
at the very least, he's going to jail.
Well then. Yeah.
Boy there.
What now?
You gotta hit the I'm going to jail sound button thing.
I'm going to jail!
There we go. I forgot about that one. We haven't busted that out in a second.
I love that.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for it tonight. We've done the infiltration, and I imagine business as usual tomorrow, but I've got a couple things I got to do tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and jet on out of here. Thanks for coming out. See you guys tomorrow.
Whoa.
Oh, Dale Gribble button?
Are you a homosexual?